Kimberly, can you take roll, please?
President Bill Smith.
Here.
Vice President Richard Lindsay.
Here.
Secretary Nick Combo. Here. Treasurer George Seifert. Trustee Lisa Middleton. Here. Trustee Carrie Nicholson. Here. Trustee Larry Williams.
Here.
Agenda's not up yet, so we can observe our moment, a customary moment of silence. Okay. Larry, can you lead us to the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I can entertain a motion for approval of the agenda, please.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Members of the audience may address the board on agenda items only. You good? Okay.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Okay, we will move to special order of business, election of officers for January 2018 to December 2018. You want me to do background?
I'll give it.
Okay.
President DeSmet assembled a nominating committee of the Marshall Board of Education at the December 11, 2017 combined work business session. The committee included Richard Lindsay, Jr., George Seifert, and Lisa Middleton. Lisa Middleton served as chair. The committee developed the following recommendations for board officer assignments for January 2018 through December 2018 are as follows. President Bill DeSmet, Vice President Richard Lindsay, Secretary Annette Koppel, Treasurer George Seifert. Recommendation is a recommendation of the board president. Actually, you can read that.
It is a recommendation of the board president that officers of the Marshall Board of Education be elected as presented.
I move to accept the slate as presented.
Support.
Any discussion?
We had a great meeting.
About 30 seconds, and we talked for an hour about other stuff. So it was good, but it was an open meeting. So.
Good deal. Anybody else?
Are you ready for another year?
I'm ready for another year. Okay, we'll start with Larry.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I need to assume my seat.
Congratulations.
Please do.
Thank you.
Here's the gavel.
Also. Thank you. We'll move on to the consent agenda now. We have minutes, expenditures, personnel, and other. Do you want to walk us through A and B there, Randy? Memorandum of Understanding between Albion College Education Department and Fritz Schirmer Center for Teacher Development and Marshall Public Schools, and then conferences.
Sure. Memorandum of Understanding between Albion College Education Department and Fritz Schirmer Center for Teacher Development and Marshall Public Schools is being presented as approved for approval. The memorandum will formalize the collaboration and affiliation the district and the college have been doing since the fall of 2015. You have a copy as 6A in your packet of the Memorandum of Understanding. You'll note that it's been signed, duly authorized by Dr. Kyle Shanton, Karen Hoagland, liaison with the Education Department, and Mark Roy, provost from Albion College, as well as myself. We thought we would memorialize our relationship as an affiliation with Albion College, make sure that that's in print. It's also very helpful for us to have this letter to assist us in issues of citizenship when we have a teacher that's working with us and needs to have that relationship. Did you read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't really understand what happens if somebody wants to be in that program, but then like maybe they're a music teacher, but there's not a music teacher slot that year. Do they sort of know ahead of time who can go into it or what fields? Or
Are you talking about into the program or into placement for job placement?
well, into the program.
So the provost is responsible for that, and there are students that if they have so many credits towards that could be used towards an education degree and they're still in school and have not graduated from Albion College, they can divert themselves into that program with approval by the provost and the president. If after they complete their college degree at Albion College And after that, in post-baccalaureate studies, they want to go back into the education department, get their training, and be certified as a teacher. They can then go back into that with free tuition or the promise of free tuition. After they complete and are certified to teach, they are eligible to be hired by us at the first eligible position that they're qualified and certified to teach. If we don't have a position, they can go on and market themselves wherever they need to. If they do have the position, they would work for us and we would hire them as a priority. If we had a position and they declined to work for us, they went out and marketed themselves, they would probably get a student loan associated with their tuition.
But if there wasn't a position and they would have taken it, if there was a position, then they wouldn't have to pay back their student loans.
No, I think they would be released of that. There's no commitment of hire unless we have an open position. And then that has to be highly qualified and certified in those positions. And of course, the whole concept behind the PAC program is to get underserved individuals that are in the teaching profession, teaching in our classrooms and locally. So we're excited about that.
So
If you look at the overall involvement that we have with Albion College, it's pretty robust.
That's awesome.
And we're real pleased to have that partnership.
Are we gonna do a press release or anything about this?
Sure.
I'm sure.
Whatever you say. I'm working on it.
You can put it on Facebook, right?
No, actually, we talked about it, and I think you promised Larry and I that you'd do a press release, so we'll put something together.
So the second one is Dr. Davis is requesting to attend the Michigan Career Education Conference, January 29th in Grand Rapids. That is a drive up and a drive back for one day. We're also sending Scott Hutchins and Robin Coddens, who is going to be our point person, counselor at the high school for CTE, Career and Technical Education. We're real excited about taking that next step, and it's very timely in what we're trying to do with KCC at this point. I'm also going to be attending the Governor's Education Talent Summit on March 12th and 13th in Novi, and that requires overnight accommodations. So it's my recommendation that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Move for approval.
And, thank you.
Support.
Now I can ask any discussion. Do I have anything?
Good stuff.
We'll start with Carrie.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Move to board topics, CASMA 2017 award nominations. Now we'll have to have board approval before February 9th of 18. So this is our time to kind of throw out any thoughts we have on either professional, citizen, and then there's also special recognition, I think. So.
I'd like to suggest Mary Douglas from Gordon Elementary is the professional award.
Do we have discussion at this point, or just kind of throw the names out?
We could have discussion about that.
Okay.
I would support
total
Mary,
support of
yeah.
that. Yeah, I know Mary does a lot of extra pieces, the zoo, and she was over at Albion over the summer and a lot of different things. So she's always.
Was she involved in Gordon Glow's Global as well, or was that just at Gordon and she was a?
That was at Gordon. She's been associated with it.
Yeah.
Her primary initiatives have been the Big Zoo lesson and the maple syrup work that they do around Gordon. Chicago trips. Her work at the summer school last year at Harrington was outstanding.
Absolutely.
And for her to step in and do that was really welcomed. So yeah, she's had some contributions, strong contributions.
I guess in the other category, I'd like to maybe think about the Marshall Community Foundation. They've done so much. I don't know if that's appropriate.
For special
For the
recognition.
Special recognition. you know, they've made it possible for us to do quite a few things over the years. And they've committed to Marshall, to Albion, and a lot of individuals who wanted to do some special things. And
Okay.
you can spend
recall if they've
hours
done- Have they
discussing.
done organizations before? I don't know.
Yeah, I was just looking at that, so.
I don't remember. The
definition.
The Success Fund won it in 2010.
Mhm.
The
Okay,
Battle
so
Creek
it's-
Inquirer staff won it in 1996. The 1984 was the 1983 Springfield Board and Administration. So I would
Kellogg
say
Foundation.
Kellogg Foundation, yeah, so it's
Oh,
definitely.
cool, I like that idea.
And then the one that I wanted to bring forward on the citizen side was Steve Seifert, for all his contributions that he's made with robotics and developing that program. And he's actually taking it more countywide versus anything else. And it's done some great stuff with that program. So
Yeah, I think Steve's initial work on robotics was in tandem with Lakeview's and his partnership with Lakeview. Case in point, we were able to bring the first ever statewide tournament for middle school here. That was the first one. And we did partnership with Lakeview to provide those from then on out because they grew to be so big. However, this last year we had them here, which was really something else. And we partnered with Lakeview so that Lakeview could have both gyms to be able to do the middle school. The high school, he took off from scratch and has developed that really strong. And he's got incredible relationship and connections across the county and really into the state level in regards to robotics on the first robotics program.
Looking at this nomination form that's in our packet, can we only do 2 or can we do 3? Because there's like only.
Well, we always slip in that special recognition piece. So I mean, everybody, you know, if any particular district has a special recognition we are hot to do, they'll take a look at that and see if that's something that should come up. So if you're good with those recommendations, and we don't have any others at this point, we need some background.
Yeah.
We'll get some background as well, but any things from your perspective would be extremely helpful. Run them through Bill, and Bill and I will take a look at how we can work up the nominations.
great.
Great.
Awesome.
Good.
Anybody else have anybody else in mind, or?
Larry, anything?
Okay.
You know Steve Seifert?
I do not.
Okay. He runs our robotics program, so you gotta meet him. He's really something.
I'll introduce you.
George might know him.
I see him occasionally.
George put yourself in the boat on
George
that.
is holding his comments. I don't know if that's because
I'm trying to be neutral.
I don't know if that's because of sibling rivalry or sibling support. So
Well, I can't tell you everything I know, but I'll.
if it were my brother, I'd have plenty of stories to tell.
I'll think
Same
carefully about
here.
what I say.
Yeah. Paybags.
Exactly. Okay, so we'll, you guys will get that, and then we'll bring those back for an actual approval. Will it be our first meeting in February that we'll do the next one in January? So at our next meeting, we'll actually take a vote for approval of those and move forward.
All right, so you have like less than a week to get comments to Bill about any of these nominations. And we'll try to work them in. All right.
Okay, next we have action items, annual organization, February 2018 to January 2019. So we, how about if I read those pieces and I'll let you do the background?
Sure.
Okay, so first we have set work and business sessions for Marshall Board of Education for February 2018 to January 2019. Designate as bank depositories, and there's 6 banks identified there. Designate as brokers, Chemical Bank, MBIA, Municipal Investors Service Corporation, PFM Asset Management, Bank of America, Southern Michigan Bank and Trust, and Marshall Community Credit Union. I guess I should have read the ones above. So going back, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Chemical Bank, Flagstar Bank, Hastings City Bank, Marshall Community Credit Union, and Southern Michigan Bank and Trust were the ones identified under B. Now we're going on to D, designate as law firms Thrun, Am I saying that right?
True law firm.
True.
Yeah.
Law firm PC and Schroeder DeGraw PLC. We'll have to have discussion on appointing a delegate for the CASBA,
And
delegate and an alternate to represent Marshall Public Schools, and then designate the electronic transfer officer in accordance with board policy 6144.
So I'm going to read background on A and D and E. And Becky's going to read the background on C, F. Sound good?
Okay.
Actually, B, C, and F. So A, the Marshall Board of Education has established a routine for the regular sessions of the board each month at 7 p.m. in the middle school community room. The first meeting of the month is a work session followed by a business session at the second meeting. The superintendent or designee posts special meeting notices. A proposed meeting schedule would continue the current arrangement with the board meeting the second and fourth Mondays of the month, with April, July, August, November, and December sessions being combined.
Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Chemical Bank, Flagstar Bank, Hastings City Bank, Marshall Community Credit Union, and Southern Michigan Bank and Trust have been established as banks and depositories by the Marshall Board of Education in the past. Continuance of this practice would provide consistency in the depositories for 2018 calendar year. Chemical Bank, MBIA, Municipal Investor Service Corporation, PFM Asset Management, Bank of America, Southern Michigan Bank and Trust, Marshall Community Credit Union have been established brokers for Marshall Public Schools. Their reputation and work is highly respected, and returns have been as expected with these brokers. Therefore, they are being recommended for the 2018 calendar year.
Truett Law Firm PC, expert attorneys in education issues, and the firm of Schroeder DeGraw PLC, locally represented, have been the district's designated law firms for several years. Continuance of the practice would provide consistency and legal representation for the 2018 calendar year. The Constitution of the Calhoun Area Career School Board Members Association, or CASMA, states under Article 5, Section 4 that, quote, each board of the association shall appoint annually one of its members to the CASMA Board of Directors and an alternate to serve in the absence of the member. This year, the names of...
We have to fill those in right now.
That would be helpful.
So who is the representative? Is George the representative?
I
and
was,
he's
and
the
George was the
alternate?
alternate, and I am relinquishing, so if someone wants to, to do that. There's only 4 meetings a year. So it's a good chance to go talk to other school board members, and I'm looking at you too.
When are the meetings?
It's
They're
6
usually on
o'clock,
Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, and I don't know what the date is. It's kind of random.
and it's at the ISD, typically on
Yeah.
G Drive and 27.
It's in Marshall.
Yep.
I could do that.
Okay.
Give me
Okay.
information
Okay.
on it.
Great.
So Carrie would be the designee, and then we need a backup alternate.
I'm happy to be alternate. That seems to be my role.
Okay.
You'd be
George
happy
is
to be alternate? Okay.
I'll do it.
Dr. Carrie Nicholson and Dr. George Seifert are being recommended as delegate and alternate respectively for the 2018 school year.
In accordance with board policy, the board shall at the organizational meeting designate the electronic transfer ETO in accordance with board policy 6144. The board designates Becky Jones as the district's ETO to complete such transactions on behalf of the board.
It is a recommendation of the superintendent that action items annual organization be approved as presented.
Move for approval.
Support.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, Lisa?
Yes.
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 Any public comments?
No, I'm so good.
Thank you for being here.
Board member comments for which no action may be taken at this meeting.
So what was our record for a short meeting? If I talked for 5 minutes, am I gonna guess?
20 minutes, we're right
I got nothing to say.
I want to bring your attention to 2 things in front of you. One is a curriculum and instruction newsletter that Don took upon himself to initiate. I thought it was really cool. I like to get good positive surprises from these situations, and Don is really taking a hold of what he's doing with curriculum instruction. So just for your own edification, that gets sent out electronically. The other thing is, this is a op-ed piece I was requested to write as an anti-voucher position in a pro-con kind of op-ed situation with the Detroit News. It's going to be published on Thursday, and I submitted it this afternoon after receiving feedback from some colleagues and one of our board members. And so just wanted you to be aware. It will be published. It will have Marshall Public Schools as a definer for me as the superintendent. Read it at your leisure and enjoy the content.
So are you letting the Battle Creek Inquirer know that you're being published in the?
No, the last time I
I don't know who to contact anymore because I keep firing people there. So.
The last time I contacted the Battle Creek Inquirer was to celebrate our 5th year out of 8 years on being on the National Honor Roll for advanced placement
I don't remember reading
for the
that.
college boards, and I gave them everything as far as the language, and it didn't get posted. So,
Well, we'll post it then.
so no,
So no, it's not up.
so no, I didn't.
I liked your other piece that you shared with us by email. I look forward to seeing that in the.
Yeah, that's.
It's the 269 magazine.
Have you
right?
guys seen the 269 magazine?
Yeah, it's a neat magazine.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp, and I'm really happy that they're taking a look at that. And Kimberly gave me the phone call. I sent him back an email right away. You can tell that he was pleased to have the responses. And I hope that also gives you an eyeball into, you know, some of the priorities and things that we're dealing with right now.
Any other comments? We are adjourned.
Thank you.
23 minutes.
20.